Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another Solo Sunday. Today we're going to be playing a solo playthrough of Imperium Classics / Imperium Legends. This is all classic stuff. I'll kind of get into how the game plays as we're going, but this is a deck building kind of civilization game. We pick a nation, so we're going to be playing the Celts today. And this will make more sense as we go, but at the end of the game we're going to get one victory point for these cards with the leaves on them. They're uncivilized cards. And then we have an ability when you acquire or break through for an uncivilized card, exhaust this card, each player takes unrest. We'll kind of explain that stuff. Um, but basically what happens, and then we're playing against the Greeks. So the cool thing about this game is that Imperium Classics, which is the game we're doing today, and Imperium Legends, which I have down there are 8 different in each game, 8 different civilizations you play as. The kind of simpler, more straightforward ones are in Classics, and Legends has some more interesting, complex, kind of like mythological. There's like Atlanteans and Arthurians and stuff like that. They're completely compatible, so you really have 16 different civilizations to go against each other. So they're completely mix and match. Um, but what's really cool is that the solo game, basically there are these charts, and I've got them printed off, but there are these charts in the back of the book that tell you exactly how the civilization is going to react when they play certain cards. So there's symbols on all the cards. Basically, we run down this chart, and when that symbol pops up, the first time that symbol pops up based on what's on that card, you do that effect. That's all you do. The game is kind of complex, but basically when you kind of get around that part, it's pretty straightforward running the AI. It's very smooth AI, and it's pretty competitive. So basically what happens is we start the game as a barbaric civilization, and we're going to gain cards and play stuff, and eventually we'll develop into a developed civilization. This card will flip over for whoever, so it starts as a barbaric, and then we go to empire. Sorry, we're develop into an empire. And for the AI, when it flips over to an empire, we're gonna flip over their actions. They're gonna do different stuff. And so that's kind of the gist of it. There are a few different basically to win the game, whoever has more points. That's at the end of the game. We're going to count points. I'll kind of get into specifics and terminology as we're going, but the main game end triggers are going to be this unrest stack going away, which are like the wounds and legendary. They're -2 at the end of the game, and they kind of clog up your deck. Everybody starts with them, and you have to pay if you want to get rid of them. You kind of have to pay. Or there's another way, but we'll get into that. There are these region cards. There are developed cards, or uncivilized cards, which are the green leaf. Civilized, which are this pillar. And then there are tributaries, which are a blue symbol. They're all mixed in here. So the civilized, uncivilized, and region cards, we take 6 of each and make a small deck, and then shuffle everything in the tributary cards in here. These are fame cards. This is another game end trigger. When it gets down to the bottom fame card, and then somebody were to take a fame card and that one's there, it'll flip over and trigger the end of the game. Another game end trigger will be if this deck runs out, the main deck. And then finally, I think the last game end trigger, if I'm not missing anything, would be if we develop our entire develop stack. Again, we'll get into that. The basic kind of flow of the game is that we're going to play some cards by taking some actions. We get 3 actions per turn. We also have these exhaust tokens will come in effect like I did on this here. And then we'll play cards. We'll do a couple different things. When we discard, and we draw back up. When we're going to go shuffle our deck, we would take the top card of this, add it to our discard pile, and do that every single time we're going to shuffle. It's once per round. So we can't, if we went through our deck a second time in the same round, we wouldn't take another card. But once we do all that and we take this card with a dot on it down here into our discard pile, we will flip over to a empire. The AI runs very similarly. This is actually their 5-card hand. I'll emulate how that works out here in a bit, but just kind of I'll get started. We'll kind of go from there. These are our resources. We get 1 develop resource, which at the end of the game is worth 1 victory point, but also will substitute out for a other resource. We get 2 population, which are the blue ones with the people, and I don't remember the building one, what it technically is called. Material. And we get 3 of those, which is nice because there's 1 pointy thing, there's 3 bricks, and there's 2 people, so that kind of helps remember the starting material there for that. So anyway, so let's just kind of get started here. I've got these 2, so basically, and there's a little player aid here on the back. On a turn, we can activate, which is what we're going to do most of the time, is playing cards. Innovate, which means we discard our entire hand to break through for a card out here. I'll explain what that means in a moment. And then Revolt, which means we don't do anything but discard all our unrest cards back to the unrest pile. So we can forego our turn to get rid of the unrest cards. But I don't think I'm going to do that. So, in the market, any card that's not a region card, when the card's out here, it's going to have an unrest card underneath it. So when you take those cards, you acquire those cards, you have to take both the unrest card and the card that you're taking. If you break through, you can take that without the unrest card. So that's kind of the difference. And breakthrough also lets you search the deck for stuff or pull stuff from the deck. So that's kind of the difference between those two terminologies. And then things go to our hand. So it's kind of great. So we've got the two unrest cards. I'm going to ignore those for a moment. The other thing too is some of the cards here, for instance, have this battle axe symbol here. That's our barbarian state. We can only play those cards in a barbarian state. Once we become an empire, we can't play those cards anymore, and then vice versa, like this education card here has an empire symbol, so you can only play it when you're an empire. So at the moment, cattle raid here, it says we gain 2 material, then steal a material from each other player with at least 1 region in play, and then steal 1 for each player that's an empire. So we're not going to get that ability, but we are going to play this. So we're going to play that. We're going to gain 2 material. That's going to go to our discard pile, so I'll just set that off to the side. We also have this, Boudica. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing that wrong. Gain a develop. Each of the player abandons a region, and then it says put this in your history. I may wait on this to get the effect to make them abandon their stuff. When you put stuff in your history, you put it in this pile, and it basically goes out of your deck. Thematically, it's like you're taking it out of your active what's going on. It's in your history. But then at the end of the game, you will consider it for scoring. So it's kind of a cool removal of cards in a thematic way. But we're gonna wait to do that. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and I'm gonna get rid of this unrest because I can't play this glory card either. We're gonna get rid of this unrest by paying a population. So when we do that, it sends that back to the stack. And then I'm gonna get rid of this unrest. The other option too is that you can either pay a population, pay 3 material, discard 2 cards. We're going to discard 2 cards and get rid of that one. So those are gone. So the next thing we're going to do is we're out of actions. So we're going to put these back on our card. We are going to choose one of the cards out here and put this develop token on it, which is going to basically incentivize people to take it. I kind of want one that I might want. So I think what I'm going to do is go for this city. And then we're going to draw back up to our 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is our hand. I'll set that down here. And then we're going to go to the AI's turns. The AI's turns are really, really straightforward. We're going to roll this die. This die is going to be the thing that they do not play on their turn. And it is a 2. So I'm going to plop that down there, and we're going to flip over the cards from left to right and do what the effects say. So they have settlers. We don't care about any of the rules text. What we care about is symbols. So this card has the axe symbol, so we're going to go down here, find that, and it says discard the top card of the bot deck, put this in their history, so they're going to discard that, and put this in their history. We're going to skip this one. We're going to go here. It cares about, so in this case, it has both the continuous symbol and it has the region symbol. In this case, we care about what appears first, which is the region symbol. So they're going to gain a material, which we'll set here. They're going to play this, so we're going to put it. I'm going to stack I'm going to stack all their region cards here, and they're going to exile a card from the market. So they're going to basically kick out a card from the market. The card they kick out is the lowest number card that doesn't have any progress tokens on it. So we're going to get rid of this one. So I'm going to kick that out. This goes back to the stack. We'll reveal a card to replace it, and then we're going to put this back underneath it because we put these under everything that aren't region cards. If we were to pull a region card, I'm going to probably leave it, but if we pull a region card, we'll remove it, but I'm going to leave it if we have to remove them. All right, we're going to flip over the next card here, which again is going to have the axe, so they're going to discard the top card of their deck, put this in their history. I'll flip that over actually so it's a little easier to see. And then finally we have this, which is the sword symbol, which is discard the top 2 cards of the bot deck. They're going to steal 2 material, and then I'm going to gain a population. So they're going to steal this. They're going to discard the top 2 cards of their deck, and this is going to go in their discard pile. So once they do all that stuff, they're going to place a progress token on the card that they didn't play, and then they're going to slide this all the way over to the left, and they're going to start and repopulate with a new hand. In this case, their deck is gone, so they're going to take the top card here. We're going to shuffle that up and play those out. All right, so that's their turn. So it's, like I said, pretty straightforward. Our turn. So, oh, and if this solstice here, so this card goes to the player that's last in turn order for the round. So in a two-player, in a solo game that's the AI, what happens is this is just a reminder that any cards with solstice effects would take place then. We don't have any right now, so it's irrelevant. But basically at the beginning, the end of the round or beginning of the next round is kind of the space that a solstice card will activate. But anyway, we don't have to care about that at the moment. All right. So we have some options here, and we don't have a lot. We need some region cards because we don't have very many. There may be more in here, but I want to get some. So, well, while we're at it, let's go ahead and play Advance. So it says pay 3 material to acquire a civilized or uncivilized card, or play 5 to break through for 1. I'm going to go ahead and pay the 3. So I've got 3 material. We're going to pay that to break through or to acquire this. So we get the tokens on the card, so we're going to get that token. We're going to get this unrest card to our hand, and we're going to get the city, which has a solstice effect. You may discard a card to choose one, gain a population, gain material, draw a card. So that's why I wanted that. It's going to go to our hand as well. So there's one card played. Let's see. Let's play Conquer. So this is pay 2 population to acquire a region or a tributary card. While I want this, I really need the region, so I'm going to take the region card. We're going to refill that. That's our second card that we've played. And then finally, let's go ahead and play City. This will just be a card that stays out. That'll just be sitting there. So yeah, so that's going to be our turn here. Again, when... Oh, hold on, wait a minute. So actually, I didn't do this, and I'm going to take a little bit of a mulligan. I have my Celts ability. When you acquire a breakthrough for uncivilized card, exhaust this card, and each other player takes a unrest. So I'm going to exhaust it by using that token. They're going to take the unrest, which goes on top of their deck. That's them taking a card makes it go on top of their deck. So we're going to clear our tokens. When you discard at the end of your turn, you can, when you have your cards at the end of your turn, you can discard any number of cards to draw back up to 5. I'm going to discard the unrest card, and I'm going to discard... That's probably it. So now, to draw up to 5, I have to place one of these cards into here. We're going to shuffle. And draw up to 5. Alright. So we're going to set that there, and we're going to do... Oh, I got to place my token out. I want that card, so hopefully they don't take it, but they might. 5, so they're going to do this. If we roll a 6, they play everything, so... Alright, so they have Advance, which is before the axe. So Advance, if able, they're going to spend one of these to break through. For a civilized card, so they're going to break through for this. Otherwise, they acquire an uncivilized card. So they're going to break through for that. We're going to replace that with this. We're going to go here. Unrest, when they get an unrest card, they just return it back to the stack. City of Athens, this card's a continuous card, so they're going to gain a population and a material, and then put this in their history. At the end of the game, for every 10 of these they have, they get a point. And then finally, they're going to do Greek Mercenaries, which is going to discard the top 2 cards of here. They're going to steal 2 population from me, or 2 material from me. They can't, but then I gain a population, so we're going to get that. And that's going to go to their discard pile. They're going to place the token there. They're going to move this down and go 1, 2, 3, and then they're going to do that. So they're actually going to develop quickly. So basically, depending on how many cards you have in that stack, is on how quickly you can develop, and then into an empire. So they're gonna probably do it very fast. All right. So Solstice happens, which means we can activate our effect, discard a card to choose one of those options. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to discard this to gain a material. All right. So first off, we're gonna play druids here. So we're gonna play this. We get to gain a progress. We're gonna gain a progress for that. We're gonna play Belicia. So you may draw a card and garrison a card. So garrisoning cards means when you play a card, garrisoning a card would take a card from your hand and stick it underneath it. It basically removes it from your deck temporarily. But we're not going to garrison. So we're going to play Belicia. I don't know how to say it. I'm pronouncing it totally incorrect. But we're going to play that. We're going to draw a card. And then, sorry about that. And then we're going to play Celtica. Again, I apologize if I mispronounced that. You may place a card of your choice from your discard pile on top of your deck. And then you may garrison a card. So I'm going to just place that here just to keep the symbols. But really it's to play that out. And we're going to take and put the Druid's card back on top of the deck. I think that's all we're going to do. So we're going to remove our tokens. We're going to discard the Unrest card. I'm going to place this on here. And then we're going to draw up to 5. Okay. Alright. Let's roll the die. 3. So they're going to do Glory. Glory for them would be discarding 3 of these, I believe. Yeah, so they're going to abandon 3 of these to take the top Fame card, but they don't have 3. So then otherwise they're going to break through for a Uncivilized card. So they're going to break through for this by taking this one. It's going to go on top of their deck. If there's ever multiple options, they take the one worth the most points, and they consider the progress tokens, I believe. So they're going to play this. It's going to gain them a material. And they're going to exile a card from the market. So this one's gone. Because I believe they exile the lowest counted one, not the lowest point value one. Yeah, it placed the eligible card from the lowest numbered slot in the market. Okay. Unrest, they're going to go there. And then we have another one of these. So they're going to discard 2 cards from their deck. Which this card's annoying the mess out of me. They're going to steal 2 of these, so they take 1, and then I gain a population. And then that's going to be discarded. They're going to place the token here. I mean, they have pretty quick turns. Alright, so once that Olympic Games card adds to their discard pile, they're flipping over to the to a civilized or empire. Alright, so we can discard a card to gain some stuff. I think what we want to do is discard Conquer, and I'm going to use that to draw a card, which is not totally what I wanted, but that's okay. First off, we'll play Cattle Raid. So we're going to gain 2 material and then steal 1 from each player with at least 1 of these in play. So we're going to steal back that. We are going to... let's be a pain in the butt for them. So we're going to play Druids again, but we're going to do it. We're going to pay the 1 population to break through for an uncivilized card. So we're going to break through for this one. We're going to gain the points for that. This Jade Mask, draw up to 3 cards. If able, then return a card to the top of your deck. But then when we do that, we're going to combo that with that Celts, and we're going to exhaust that to give each other player a Unrest. And then we have to refill that. And then we do have the Jade Mask there. Let's go ahead and actually play that Jade... Well, let me think about that for a moment. I think maybe we'll wait. We'll play this Cauldron of... I don't know how to say it. And anyway, what it's going to let us do... I'm going to place it this way just so I can see the rules text. But we can exhaust to pay 1 progress for 2 population. So I'm going to stick it that way just so I can kind of remember what's going on there. So we're going to end our turn here. I'm going to put these... Actually, let's put this down here. These will go back. We're going to place this on this here. And then we're going to draw up. So we're going to draw here. We're going to take that. So we've got a while before we turn to an empire. All right. All right, so 1. So they're not going to do this card, so they're going to unrest. That'll go here. Pick this back. Unrest. Educate. So this card is going to be an other because this symbol isn't available anywhere on their thing. I don't know why I did that. So other, if able, they're going to spend 2 population to break through for a region. Otherwise, they're going to spend 2 material to break through for a uncivilized. Otherwise, discard top cards of the deck and put this in their history. So they're going to discard those 2 to break through for a uncivilized card. They're going to take this one because it's they both equal 1. They're going to take that, put that on top of their deck. We'll replace it. This gets replaced like that. And then they're going to flip this over, which is going to be Temple. It's going to go by the first thing. They're going to gain material and a population. Put this in their history. They're going to put a progress token on that and refill. 1, 2, 3, 4. So next round, they're going to convert. All right. Solstice time. So let's discard something. I think what I want to do... Oh, this might be good. I'm going to discard this advance to draw a card. We are going to first start off by playing Boudica. We're going to gain... And I super duper apologize. We're going to gain a progress. Each other player abandons a region. So they're going to basically discard this. Then we have to put this in our history. And then we're going to play the Forest card. It lets us garrison a card and exile a card from the market. So we'll get rid of this. We're just going to give them that. And then finally, we're going to play the big card here, which is called Glory. You can't be garrisoned. It says abandon 3 regions to look at the top 2 cards of the Fame deck and take one of those cards. So the important part here is that we're going to, this is progressing the game to the end of the game. We're going to take the top 2 cards here and make a choice of which one we want. Now, the AI just takes whatever's on top, so we kind of have to be strategic about it. So the 2 cards are Marvelous. It's worth 9 points at the end of the game. It's a free play, which means it doesn't cost action to play. You draw the top card of your deck and choose to discard it, return to the top of your deck, or put it in your history. And then the other card is going to be Notorious, which is free play, steal progress from each other player, and anyone who can't will take a unrest. At the end of the game, all the cards with this symbol for the AI just count as 5 points. So this is point-wise less than that. So I'm going to leave that one there. We're going to take this Marvelous card, and because it's free play, we're going to go ahead and play it. We're going to look at the top card of our deck, and I'm going to choose to discard it. I don't want it in my history because it will remove from the deck, but will still count for points at the end of the game. So we don't want it in their history. We want to truly get rid of them. And then I think what I'll do is I'll discard this America, and we'll draw back up. Oh, I got to place my token out. So we're going to place, and actually I'm going to exchange this for a 5. I'm going to place this here because I actually kind of want that card too. We're going to draw up here. Our deck is gone, so we're going to shuffle. All right, AI's turn. 1 again. They've got, this is an other, so they can spend 2 of these to break through for this. They're going to take this. It's going to go here. They're going to get those. We'll put those. It's not really a good spot to put those. So I'll put those down here. And I'll put them here for now. Okay. And then, yep, so that's done with. They're going to flip this, which is an unrest. We have to replace this too. It's advanced, so they're going to spend one of these to break through for one of these cards. They're going to take this one and break through for it. So it's going to go there. And then they've got Glory. So Glory would be if they could abandon 3 of these, which they can't. So otherwise they'll break through for this. They're going to take that. It's going to go here. All right. And then they're going to put a token here. I got to get one of these cards here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually they didn't end up doing that because they added so many cards back to their deck. Okay. So I think this turn we're going to go ahead and I am going to discard this Cattle Raid for my Solstice ability to gain a population. Okay. So, first and foremost, we're going to play Conquer. We're going to pay 2 population to acquire a tributary card. So we're going to get this card. We're going to get all these tokens. This is the Askew Mites. We get to gain 4 material. Next, we'll play Druids. So there was 2 of my tokens. That's 1 token used. 2 tokens used to return this. We can return this to gain a population. And then finally, we'll play Jade Mask to draw 3 cards, and then return a card to the top of the deck. So I think what I want to do is return. I'll return this to the top of the deck. And then I will place this on here. I'm going to discard this card. I'll discard this card. I'll draw up to 2. Alright. 4. Finally playing this card, which is going to be discard top card of the bot deck. Put this in your history. We have this would discard the top 2 cards of the bot deck. They're going to steal 2 of these from me. And I gain a population. So they're going to discard the top 2 cards, which is going to put them here. Shuffle. And now they convert into a empire. So we're going to flip this over, I believe, mid-turn. I think that's the right play to do this mid-turn. So now their effects are going to do different stuff. So now we've got this symbol here. They're going to acquire... Oh, man. So they're going to acquire one of the cards out here. They're going to go for the one with the highest point value, and it's going to be this one. So we're going to take this. I'm going to convert these to a 5. That means they're going to get both of those. But the bummer part is that we also have to recall one of our continuous cards. So I want to recall this Cauldron. That goes, they didn't play this. And then finally they have this same thing. They're going to take one of these, which this will be the highest point valued one. And I have to recall the city. Okay. They're going to place this out. Alright. So, I've got way more cards than I wanted, but that's okay. So, that kind of messed me up because I was setting myself up to get some of that stuff, but that's fine. So we're going to, I think what we're going to do, I'm going to play this city back out. I'm going to play this, I don't know how to pronounce it, but this region card. We're going to draw a card. And then... Ooh. What do I want? I don't really want any of those, honestly. So I think what I'll do finally is we'll play that, and we'll gain our 4 material. Let's swap that out with that. That gets discarded. I'm going to discard... I'm going to keep this card and keep this card and discard the other 3. Actually, hold on. Let me do this. I'm going to discard this card too, and then draw up. We're going to get that card there and shuffle. Okay. And I got to place something out, which I kind of goofed myself, but that's fine. We're going to go for that Mercenaries card there. Okay. Roll the dice. 6. So I think, I know that they don't, I don't know that they place any progress tokens, but they play all their cards. Let me double check that. So, the bot's turn, you roll a die, set it aside, and then the cleanup phase would be once all the cards have been played, add a progress to the card above the indicated slot. So they don't do it. Oh, if you set it aside and add it to the first slot. So it'll get added here. All right. They have this, which is going to be discard top card of the bot deck. Play this card. Exile card from the market. So this is gone. We've got Unrest. We know a couple of these cards are Unrest. We have discard top card of the bot deck. Put this in their history. That's another Unrest card. And then finally, this will be a continuous card. Put this in your history. And then this card will get the token. And we're going to play out 1, 2, 3. So the develop cards all give you points at the end of the game. And the way we structure it for the bot is that when we're doing it, we get to choose whichever ones we want to make. But the bot will take, we put them in from the bottom of the deck, or the top of the deck, face down, is the highest point ones. So they're going to get those. They're going to get those cards. All right. So we're on our Solstice here. I'm going to discard this to gain a draw card. All right. So we're going to try to get a Fane card here. This actually draw the top card of your deck, and I'm going to put it back. That's free play. So we're going to play I can't pronounce any of this stuff. We're going to play that. We're going to use a token there. You can draw a card. You may draw a card from your discard pile, so I guess we'll take this back. And then we're going to play this one. You may place a card of your choice from your discard pile on top of your deck. Well, that doesn't really matter. And then finally, we're going to play Glory, which is going to be abandon these 3 to look at the top 2 cards of the Fame deck. So we know the one is Notorious. We have Triumph here, which is worth 11 points of the game. It cannot be played and it can't be garrisoned. We're taking that. We're going to take that. Worth a lot of points. That's going to end our turn. We're going to place this out. I still kind of want that card, so we're going to try to take that. I'm going to discard this, and we're going to draw up to 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay. Bot's turn. 6 again. We have Olympic Games. This doesn't have a thing. It's just other. So if able, spend 3 population to acquire a tributary. Otherwise, spend 2 material to take a civilized, which will be this one. And then they acquire it. Otherwise, return a unrest from the discard pile. Otherwise, gain 1 and put this in your history. So they did something. All right. And now this pile is empty. So once this is empty, we'll start taking from that deck. Glory. They can't discard otherwise, so they're just going to gain 2 points. We have this. They'll play this card. They'll discard the top card of the bot deck, and they'll exile this card. Same thing. They're going to play this. They're going to exile this. Discard top card of the bot deck. And then finally, they're going to play this, which, oh my goodness, they're going to acquire this. I think they care about that. Let me double check. I believe they care about the tokens. If not, they go for raw point value. Then, so acquiring, they'll choose the card worth the most points. In case of a tie, it would choose the one with the most tokens. So they just go by raw point value. So they're going to take this one. And I have to recall this. Ugh, that's so annoying. All right. There's that. So this card's gone. So we're going to replace it with this. They're going to put a token on the first card and then plop this out. All right. Our turn. We get no Solstice effect. But we need to run through our deck a little faster. So we're going to free play. Look at the top card of our deck. I'm going to put it in my history because I'm not even using it. We're going to do that. We are going to... Oh, I think I wanted that card too. Dang it. That's fine, I guess. Oh, there's another city there. Interesting. Or exhaust to gain an action and then... Okay. We'll play this and we'll spend the 5 for the breakthrough. And we'll break through for the Oracle here. So it's free play. Draw 2 cards and discard 1 of them. Oh, this goes here. That was an action. Let's do this. Oracle, we're going to draw 2 cards. And we're going to discard 1 of them. Let's discard this one. We're going to play Druids to pay a population to break through for one of these. We're going to break through for the city. So we're going to go to our hand, and then when we break through for that, we're going to do that, and they're going to take an unrest. We're going to refill that. Then I've got 2 city cards here. We're going to play this 1 city card. Okie dokie. So let's discard down. I'm going to discard the city card, this cauldron, and discard this. So these all get discarded. We're going to draw up. Take the next card here and shuffle. I'll put that on there. Okay. Move our tokens, and it is the AI's turn. Please don't roll a 6. Please don't roll a 6. Okay, 3. Unrest is going to go on top of their deck. They're going to do this. Oh my goodness, this is so annoying. They're going to acquire this one, which I don't even know why I put the dang marker on there, because it ended up giving them more points. Okay, I'm going to swap this out for 10. And then I have to recall this. I'm never going to... Oh, that's my hand, yeah. I'm never going to be able to play those cards. We have Education, which happens to be just the Empire card. So if able to acquire a civilized or uncivilized card, they're going to acquire this one, because it's worth the most points to them. And then they're going to do this, which is going to be... Oh man, they're like really mollywopping me here. They're going to acquire those. I mean, they're kind of taking the negative points too. And I don't have a card to recall, so they're not going to be able to do that. So... All right. So, let's play Cattle Raid. So we're going to gain 2 population. We're going to steal a population from them, and we're going to steal from each player that is Empire. So we're going to steal this. So they're going to go back down. I guess I could have swapped with them. Okay, they're at 9. So there's 1 card played. I think we'll play Druids, pay our population to break through for this. We're going to take that to our hand. We're going to exhaust this to make them take an unrest card. And then finally, we're going to... Man, this is difficult. We're going to play the Forest. I'm going to exile a card from the market. I'm going to kick this out. If that's in play, I'm going to discard my whole hand to draw up for my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to place a token out on that. Okay. 3. It's going to be the Axe card. They're going to discard top card of the bot deck, and they're going to put this in their history. So they're like removing stuff. Unrest. It's going to go out. Unrest. And Agriculture. This Agriculture is a continuous card. They're just going to put it in their history. Pretty quick turn for the bot there. That's going to go there. I'll slide this down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Our turn. Oh, dear. So I'm going to do the free play here. We're going to draw 2 cards and discard one of them. So I'm going to discard the Cauldron here. Then we have We're going to play this. We're going to draw a card. Do I have anything to garrison? I don't think I do. We're going to play this, which lets us discard. I can place a card in my discard pile on top of my deck. So we'll get this Oracle back. And then I will finally play the City. Get that back out. And then we're going to end the turn, and I'm going to discard this. I'll discard my whole hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to develop so I can run through that stuff. And then let's go ahead and place a token on that card. They're going to make me get rid of a continuous card. It's going to really upset me. Okay, so Moneylender. This is going to be, they're going to acquire a civilized and uncivilized card. So they're going to acquire this and give them points. Put them back to 10. That's going to reveal this one. This is other. So they can't do either effect. So they can return a unrest card from their discard pile back to the stack. Unrest. And acquire this. They are getting a lot of cards. But because they're taking so many cards, they're not able to develop. So we're going to do our Solstice ability here. So I'm actually going to discard this card to draw a card. All right. Do I have Glory? I do. So we're going to free play this. We're going to draw the top card of our deck. I'm going to put it in my history because that's one of the abilities. Because we're getting ready to switch over, so I probably want to start weeding those out. We have a turn before we do that. We're going to do Glory for our first card. We're going to get rid of these. Look at the top 2 cards from here. So we know Notorious. We have Great, which is free play, gain an action. You may put this card in your history. It's worth 6 victory points if in your history, but 2 otherwise. We're going to take that card, put that back there. We're going to play this to gain an action, so we basically get that action back for free. We'll pay an action to play this. I can draw a card from my discard pile. Ooh. From my discard pile, huh? What do I want? Decisions. Let's get that Cauldron. We're going to play the Cauldron card. We're going to exhaust and pay one of these to get 2 population because that's its ability. And then we finally have Conquer. We're going to spend 2 population. Actually, I'm going to spend 2 population and a progress token to break through for this. So we're going to break through for this, which means we get it without having to take the unrest. And this is a free play, gain 1 population. And then because it's free play, let's just play it to get a population. So we kind of netted back. We only ended up spending 1 for that card, and it's 3 points at the end of the game. All right, so we're going to clean up here. I got to place this down on something. We'll place that here. We're going to remove these tokens. We're going to draw back up to our hand size. So we will change over on the next turn, on the next time we run through our deck. 6. They're going to unrest. The town, which is going to be a barbaric card. So they're going to discard top card of the bot deck and put this in their history. They're going to have an unrest. And then finally, this is going to be put this in their history. And they're going to place a token here. We're going to shuffle. This can be a long game. The game does play 1 to 4, but everybody says like you got to play it solo. Solo is the way to go with it. I don't know what a multiplayer game is like. I imagine it's something similar to what I'm doing, just another person doing it. But all right, for this, we're going to discard for the Solstice ability to draw a card. We'll play this as a free action, draw 2 cards and discard one of them. I think we're going to discard this. Ooh, let's see. I'm going to exhaust this to pay this for 2 population. I'm going to conquer. I'm going to pay 3 population for the breakthrough. We're going to break through for the Hitties, which is breakthrough for a region card, and put this card in your history. So we're going to take that. This gets done here, which, yeah, that card was an action. We're going to play this to do that card, to break through for one of these cards. Exile card from the market, you may garrison a card passive. Ooh, I kind of like this. We're going to take Cape. So what this does is that you can, passively, I can recall this card to avoid the effect of that. So if the AI plays that card, I can basically take this card back to avoid that effect for that time. So that might come in handy. And then we've got one more action here. I'm going to kind of trade some of these out for 10. We are going to play the Cape card. We can exile a card from the market, which I'm not going to. I need time still. So I'm going to discard my whole hand, and we're going to place a card out on that. Draw up to 5. So yeah, the game's pretty, I mean, it can kind of be a lot, but in terms of managing the AI, it's actually not super bad. Okay, so they're going to acquire one of these cards. They're going to take this one. They're going to gain that point. And then I have to recall a continuous card. I'm going to go ahead and take that, I think. This is a backup, so I'm going to go ahead and recall that. Glory. So this time they're going to abandon these 3 to take the top card here, which we know is that Notorious card. They are going to do Olympic Games, which is Other, which is spend 3 population. They can't do that. Spend 2 material. They can't do that. Return a Unrest card from the discard pile. They can't do that. So otherwise they're going to gain a point, a progress token, and put this in their history. And then finally, they're going to do this, which then I will use this Cape card for. They're going to acquire this card. And then I will use this to avoid having to recall, which I guess it would be the same thing. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, this is my disc. No, this goes to my history. Sorry about that. So, all right. They're going to do that. There's that. Because I don't think they spend the points. They don't spend points to make up for... They don't, like, when they have to do that, they don't spend any, Oh, this does say if there's a tie, choose the one with the most tokens. It says treat progress on cards as adding 1 victory point to the card's value. So, okay, so they do count, they do care for that. So I apologize for that rule goof. But I don't think they spend, like, if they have to spend material or population, they don't use their victory points for it. Okay, anyway, Solstice time, we're going to discard this to draw a card. We're going to play this to gain a free action, so I'm just going to hold that out there for right now. I guess we can use that free action to play the city. So there's that. We're going to free play this to draw the top card of our deck, and I'm going to discard it. Then we are going to play this Cape card. We're going to play this card here. which I'm going to set this off on its own. We can draw a card. And then we're going to play this last one here. We can place a card of our choice from our discard pile on top of our deck. I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to discard these two at the end of my turn. Let's place a token out here. So I guess I'll place that there. We're going to remove these. We're going to do this. We're going to add this to here. So now we are a Empire. And so what happens is, because now we don't have any more cards to add to our deck at the end of each time our deck ends, we are going to be able to buy one card from here. So when we get to that point, these cards will be options for us to buy. I don't use these. I'm like, where did all these unrest cards come from? They're for 3 or 4 players, so I need to set those aside. So these are our cards. We have 5 cards to choose from. If we were playing with more players, there'd be more unrest cards. I freaked out. I'm like, are those cards I was supposed to add? But no, they weren't. Okay. All right. 1 again. Unrest. They're gonna acquire this. Yes. Gonna refill. They're gonna do this ability, which is gonna make them acquire this card. Well, this is worth 2. This is also worth 2. But they take it from left to right. So they're going to take this one. Even though it nets them negative points, but it's fine. And then we have to recall a card here. So I'm going to recall this. And then we've got this last one, which is Unrest. They're going to put a token here. And then boom, 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 boom. Okay. Our turn now. We're going to do our Solstice ability, which is going to let us... I'm going to discard this to gain a... let's see. What do I even want out of here? I'm going to start working towards it. Pretty much anything. Let's do... Oh, let's go for the population. Okay. We're going to play Glory. So we're going to abandon these 3. Look at the top 2 cards here, which we're almost to the end. We have Glorious and Awe-Inspiring. So Glorious, passively, increase your hand size by 1. And then Glorious, free play if you're, which we're not anymore. So if you're an Empire, develop at no cost, put this in your history. I'm going to take the Awe-Inspiring card. And in fact, we're going to play it. So passively, our hand size increased by 1. So we always have an extra hand card. We're going to play the Assyrians, which is a free play. We're going to gain a population. We've got one more card out here to play. And I think we're going to play a city. So I'm going to discard or do that. And then we're going to end our turn. So I'm going to discard both of those cards. We're going to place this out on this. I'm going to draw up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. I have all of these barbarian cards that I really can't use, so we're gonna have to. They'll be good fodder for the city cards. All right, 5. We're gonna do this, which is an other. So they're not able to do any of that stuff. Do they have a unrest to return? They do not. So they're gonna gain a point and put this in their history. Unrest. Leadership, same thing. They're going to gain a point. Put this in their history. Unrest. And then put a token here. Move that down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the unrest stuff's nice because it basically blocks them from doing stuff, but it also is kind of bad in the fact that if they have them in their deck, they're going to get the minus points into the game. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and discard 2 cards to draw 2 cards. All right. What do we want to do? I can't really use that. So we're going to play Britannia. It's going to let us garrison a card. So I'm going to garrison this cattle raid card because we can't really use it. So just to kind of keep track of it, I'm just going to set it underneath face down so I know it's part of that. We are also going to play Druids. So we can gain 1, we can pay 1 to acquire that, or return Yeah, so we're going to turn the unrest to gain a population. And then finally, we're going to play this. We're going to play this Armorica. And I'm going to also garrison this card. So now we don't have a hand. We're going to place that out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, nice. We'll be able to develop after next round. 6. They've got a city. So this is going to go in their history. Gambling, they aren't able to do that. So do they have a unrest? They don't. So this is going to go here, and they're going to gain a point. Which I think at this point now, we're going to swap that out for a 5. Education, this is going to be, they're going to acquire this. Oh, they got one more. Next, they're going to do mercenary, so they're going to acquire this. It's going to refill. And then finally, they have an unrest. It's going to go here. They're going to place a token here. Redo their hand. Our go. So, we are able to discard a card. So we're going to discard a card and discard another card to gain a population and a material. We're going to play... What do we want to do? This is a free action to give me an action. I actually don't have to even use it yet. We'll play this to gain 4 material. I'll swap that out. I guess we'll play this. And then we're going to leave that there. And then I'm going to go ahead and probably, because these are both free plays, so I'm going to end my turn, which means we can develop now. And we're going to look in our deck, and I'm going to develop Ogham Script. So passive, increase your hand size by 1. Exhaust, you may put a card from your hand into your history. You may put a card from your discard pile into your history. So for obvious reasons, we're going to be able to draw more cards and also get rid of a bunch of cards. And basically what you do is, because we've done that, and any time earlier in the round when if we were to have rehabbed to get our deck, we would place an exhaust token on top of our deck, and that means that if we were to run through it theoretically again, we've got the exhaust, or we'd put the exhaust token right here or here. If we run through the deck again, because there's an exhaust token there, we wouldn't be able to develop. So technically, after we did that, I would develop. I put this here, and then we would clear tokens at the end of the round. That's kind of the mechanics behind that. Okay. All right. And we're going to draw up to our hand size. Okay, perfect. 6 again. Unrest. This is a continuous card, which just goes into their history. Unrest. This is a continuous card, but also a barbarian card, so they're going to discard the top card of the deck, put this in their history. And then finally, they have this, which is going to let them acquire this. And then they're going to put a token out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They haven't really developed much at all, but they have a big fat stack of cards in their history. So if they have points there, they're going to get them. Oh, I get to draw an extra. I forgot. I draw an extra card for that. Okay. So we're going to do our solstice stuff. I'm going to discard this to gain the population. And I'm going to discard this to draw a card. I'm going to play this. We're going to draw the top card of our deck. I'm going to put it in my... I'm going to discard it. I'm going to get an extra action. And I'm going to actually put this into my history. Which the extra action is irrelevant. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. We'll play this card out with one of our actions. You place a card from your discard pile on top of your deck. So let's put this on our top of our deck. Let's play Druids. We'll just gain the point. And then I'm going to end my turn. I'm going to discard this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 6 again. Okay. Unrest. Elders, which is going to be... They don't have the stuff to spend, and I don't think they have an unrest in their discard pile. So they are going to get a point. We have this, which is going to go in their history. This is they're gonna acquire. This is worth 5, so they're gonna take this one because that would only be 4. So we're gonna take that. Refill. We would have to put a continuous card back into our hand. So I'm gonna do that, I guess. And then finally, they're gonna do this, which is an other, which again they'll put back here and get a point. And then they're going to put a token here. For the sake of keeping all my stuff, we're going to do that. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Despite them developing so quickly, and the thing is with this game, what's really cool is that the empires, playing against them feels very different. So like, they turn to an empire very fast, but they haven't been able to develop very quickly. I don't know if that's indicative of the Greeks in real life. Whereas like we turn into an empire slowly, but we're going to develop. I think we're going to be able to, like, they just have like, it's really cool. It's got a lot of cool stuff. Anyway, sorry. All right. We're going to discard a card for a card draw. Then we're going to discard a card again for a card draw. That's an unrest. Okay. So first and foremost, we're going to play Glory here. We're going to abandon these 3 cards. They're going to go to our discard pile. That's one of our actions. We're going to take the top 2 cards here, which is the only one left, which is Glorious. So we're going to take that card. That means that whenever somebody takes this card, they're going to get whatever ability there. So in this case, they're going to get 3. Somebody will get 3 and develop for free. I think for the AI, they'll just take the top card here and put it in their discard pile, and then it flips over. And then for somebody to gain it again, they would get developed for free, but it only lasts a round. So that's there. So we get Glorious to our hand. Glorious, like I said before, we'll get to develop a card at no cost and put this in our history. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's develop a card at no cost. Although maybe I want to wait because we're going to be able to develop after this turn. So we're going to wait on that. We're going to play this, draw the top card of our deck, discard it, because I can't put it in my history. We're going to play this, the Ogam script. So it's going to increase our hand size again by 1, and then we can exhaust it. We can put a card from our hand into our history. So let's put this into our history, and then we can take a card from our discard pile and put it into our history. So we're going to put that into our history. And then with the last thing on my turn, I think what I want to do, this is a free action, so we're going to play that to get a population. And then I think I'm going to play this. I'm going to spend the population to get rid of it. That was my last thing. And then we're going to end our turn. So we're going to place this here. I'm going to get rid of these tokens. And then I'm going to draw up to my hand size. And then we have to develop again. And these are all worth a bunch of points. So this one should be worth the most. So we're going to take this. This is going to cost us 4 to develop 4 material. I can acquire any of those and then put this into my history. So we're going to get that. It's going to spend that. And then next turn, we're going to use that Glorious card to develop at no cost. Because again, another game end trigger. I mean, we're really close to any of them, but the other game end trigger, and we have 7 cards now, is if one group develops all their cards, if we run out of cards in the main deck, or this card gets flipped. So we're pretty close to all those because I only have 3 cards here. All right, 1. We've got Boats. Just going to put this in their history. We've got Philosophy, which is going to let them acquire. So they can't acquire. If able, acquire. So they can't acquire. So I guess they just don't do anything. There is no other effect. It just says if able, acquire. Okay. They've got this. This is going to come out here. They're going to discard the top card of their deck and exile a card from the market. And then finally, they're going to play this. Same thing. They're going to exile a card from the market. Discard top card of their deck. Okay. Did I do the right? Yes, I think I did the right thing. Okay. This is going to get played there. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Our Solstice ability, so we can, I'm going to discard that to gain population. And then I'm going to, I guess, discard this to draw a card. We're going to play this. Oh, it's a free play. So we're just going to go on history. We can develop for free, which I believe it just goes in our discard pile. So we're just going to get this chainmail, which passive ability is when you play one of those cards with the sword on it, you gain a point. So we're going to do that. We are going to free play this for a population. Do I want to exhaust that? We're going to free play this, draw the top card of our deck. I want to put it back. That's okay. We're going to play this, which I think all we've done is free play stuff. This will let us draw a card, which will be this card that we just talked about. So I'm going to play this, which is going to let us acquire one of those and put this in our history. That's going to go in our history. We're going to acquire the Marsh because of all those points, this is gain 2 material and then exile card from the market. And then I'm actually going to play this to gain the 2 material and exile card from the market, which I'm not going to exile anything. And then I'm going to end my turn. So we're going to discard both of those and draw back up to 7. These get cleared. I got to place a card out here, and we're going to place it on that. Okay. All right, end of the game is nearing. Unrest. Urban development, which is going to let them acquire this. All right, so the game end has been triggered. So we're going to finish this round, because now this deck is empty. We're going to finish this round, play one more round, and then score. They're going to place this out. They're going to discard this and exile a card from the market. So exile this. So that's gone. This is a sword card, so they're going to acquire one of these cards, the one worth the most points. This one's worth 3, basically, so they're going to take this. And I have to recall a continuous card. I'm just going to recall this to avoid the effect. And then finally, they're going to do this, which is going to let them acquire this. Yeah. And then I guess they put this on this token, so I guess that's it. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. So it's our turn. We're going to discard that card and discard this card to draw 2 cards. Oh, I've got a glory card here. Okay. Hold on. We're going to play this. We can draw a card from our discard pile. Which I don't think there's anything in here. I guess I'll take that. That's a free play, so we're just going to do that back. We're going to spend... we're going to exhaust that to put this into our history and put this into our history. Doesn't really matter, but... Then we're going to play Glory, which will let us abandon these 3 to develop, or to do this. We're going to develop. We're going to develop for free, so we're going to gain 3 points and develop for free, which at this point doesn't really matter. That flips over, so that'd be the other game end trigger. It's basically the last round for us to do anything. And I guess finally what we'll do is we might as well. This might yield us more points. We're going to play. Oh, I can't play Conquer. I lied. We'll play Druids. We will gain a point. we'll gain a progress token. All right, so then in this case, we would discard our hand, drop to our hand size. We can't develop because we got the development already. And I'll put a token out. And I kind of just play this through because it may be important here in the moment. But we're going to play this through, so I'll put a develop token on that because it won't matter. Oh yeah, I've got to play out there. All right. Thank you for bearing with me. I know it's been a long game. Okay, so 2. They have an unrest. They have this, which will play this. They can't exile anything. They've got pharmacy, which is just going to put this into their history. And then they've got glory, which they can do. So they'll discard 3 to do that. They'll develop for free, which means they'll get this. And then that would get a token, and they're going to move down. Okay, and then that means they won't develop. Okay, so that's the end of the game. Complete end of the game. So let's count up points here. Holy cow. So they'll get the points for their hand, but they won't get any points for this because they didn't do anything with this stuff. And they're going to get points for their history and their discard pile. So we're going to do them first because they're going to be easier. So all the cards with this symbol is going to score them 5. So that's 5, 6, 7, 12, 15, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 31, minus 2 is 29, 34, 35, 36, 41, 46, 51, 56, 56, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 83 or 73, 74, 75, 78, 81, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 90, 100, 105, 106, 7, 8, 9, 10, 111. Holy moly. I think the most I've ever scored is like, I might have scored 100 something in Legends, but never in 111. Okay, 111 points. Now, it's trickier on our end because there are certain things that dictate like where they are for it to count. So I will just take my deck on my discard pile first and evaluate that. We have 4, 7, 8, 17, 21, 32, that's where that came in handy. 32, and then we get 1 point for each of these, up to 5, I believe. So there's 1, I said 32, 33, 34, so it's 34, 35, 36, 40, 47, I'm going to hold on that a second, 48, because it counts for 1 being in my history, 48, 51, 57, because this counts for 6 in my history, 57, 57 plus 6 is 63, 1 point for each of these, so I'm going to hold that aside, 63, and then 2 points for each of my purple cards. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's 10 points. I think I get it. You score for the maximum of 5 cards. So I think I'm at 73. Let me double. Where is that ruling at? I believe you score for the maximum of 5 cards in that case. Where are you? Oh, maybe it's at the end where you're talking about scoring. Oh, you get no more than 10 points per card. So I got 10 points exactly. So 10 points for that. That's not so 10 points. So 73. I think that's where I am. 73. But I still have to score this, which is going to be 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, And then another 5 for the same effect on this. So 78. Sorry, 83. 93. 94, 95, 100. 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 107. And I don't think I get any points for any leftovers of those. Nope. So I lost by 4 points. Well, 107 to 111. But that's it. Thanks for hanging out for 75 minutes for a game of Imperium Classics. This is a really great deck building game. It's a little much at first, but it's an awesome solo game, and you basically have infinite replayability because you have every single opponent. They're in the back of the books, but I printed them off. Every single opponent acts completely differently. You can play as one of them to go against 7 if you buy a box. You have you play one character going against 7. There's a campaign, quote unquote, that just it's a 5-game campaign, or you have to get 5 wins, I think. But it's basically in between. You basically like play the game and it modifies the rules, and you get to keep certain cards between stuff. Yeah, there's a whole campaign mode and tells you how to do the campaign. You can increase the difficulty of the bot. There's different. We just played with the I think it's the basic difficulty, the Imperator, but the hardest one's Overlord. And then if you get the second box, you get 8 more civilizations, and then each of the decks, the tributaries, the uncivilized, civilized, and region, and the fame cards are different. So you could and then even swap out stuff and use the fame cards of classics, but the uncivilized cards of legends, and so on and so forth. So, and then the people in legends are wacky. So you've got this, and it's like anywhere from like 25 to $40. So it's a relatively cheap game. I will caution that the card quality isn't the best. So sleeving them is a must, and there is an errata for a lot of stuff, and so some of the cards like should have been printed a certain way. So there's an errata. I've printed them off here. It's kind of a mess. I believe and there's some updates to the rulebook, but you can find that all on BGG. I believe when Imperium Horizons comes out next year, it'll replace all the cards that they should have that were fixed, and then probably update the rules and stuff too. But if you can get past all that, it's a really great game. It's awesome. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. Thank you guys for hanging out for such a long time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.